Zone out.
Yo,
Late night chaos.
you already know what it is. Your man Khaos on the MIC, host of the Late Night Chaos Show and Nights of the Round Table and the Finger Bang Mix Show. You already know what it is. Man, I got a special guest in the building. The young God MC. Yo, Big Doobie, what's poppin'?
What's happening, man? What's happening? It's the word, man. Appreciate you having me out, family.
Yo, man, I'm glad you can make it. You know, I try to sit down with as many people as I can. I don't know if we've actually had the pleasure of meeting in person and chopping it up. You know, most people that come through, I meet them out there in these streets, you know, clubs, performances, festivals, whatever. But I seen the Pest freestyle, and I was like, oh, man. And I know I seen your name around and some stuff, but after the Pest freestyle and like mentioning everybody, I was like, yo, we gotta talk about that. We gotta chop it up.
Yeah.
Because that was hard, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
So I guess we could just start there. Well, actually, let's shout out Nove the Zoner one time, because we were just talking about him.
Absolutely.
He produced my intro, and then you said he produced like a lot of stuff for you.
About 95% of my
Woo,
catalog.
995.
Yeah.
That's cold. I really like Nove. Nove is
man,
dope.
That's my guy, man.
He's just all around talented. He's like our Kanye or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe
man.
a little less crazier.
yeah. Maybe our Pharrell, maybe.
There you go. Yeah, but that's good to hear. You know what I'm saying? There's a few talented dudes in the city, but he's one, you know, working with him, you're gonna be sounding right, you know, for sure.
100%.
Hell yeah. But so yeah, the Pest freestyle. Has anybody counted, or did you count how many artists did you actually shout out in that freestyle?
I don't even know, and that's not even a full version. I had an extended version with even more names in it, but I had to trim it down, you know, for what the freestyle was originally for. I had wrote that to perform it at the bars on I-95 when they came out here. I was in the cypher. Shout out Merkham, shout out Breezeway. They had picked me to be in that cypher, and that's the flow that I was going to spit then. But you know, it was a little chaotic. I didn't get to spit the whole flow, but I you know, I was able to do it on the Pest show, but I had already shortened it. I actually wrote it for the entire song, that entire instrumental. I wrote an entire, you know, to cover the whole like 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Bars.
You know what
That's
I mean?
That's a lot.
Yeah, so I had trimmed it up to like a minute and 20 or something, or whatever it is. But yeah, man, shout out all the artists that I named, man, the real shakers and movers.
I mean, you shout out even more than artists like OG Mercedes, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Some other people,
Absolutely.
some other content creators out here.
Yeah, man. Like I just was shouting out, you know what I mean? Like people who directly have, you know, influenced me or helped me along the way, and people who I look to for motivation. You know what I'm talking about? Like who I see you know what I mean? Like certain artists, certain people out here, they push me to go harder. You know what I'm talking about? Like I feel like I can't take no bars off and no verses off and no days off, because it's other artists out here who really going hard, and if I'm gonna be representing the same thing that they represent, I gotta be up to par. You know what I'm talking about? So that's basically what it was. Like I said, there was still a lot of people I didn't get to. I tried to make a post and like name mostly all the people that I didn't get to shout out in the shortened version of the verse, but you know.
I'm gonna have to run it back a few times. I was gonna challenge myself to catch everybody, so I'm gonna have to do it.
Okay.
That's cold, man. Yeah, and I just caught you on Two Tone's show too. I seen a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
That was a cold, like, Cause Two Tone's homie,
Yeah,
and
man.
that show was dope.
Yeah,
Like
man.
the setup,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, now I got to upgrade again.
Yeah, man. Shout out
I'm like,
Black
damn, now to
Media.
spend some money, bro.
Yeah, man. Shout out Black Media. Shout
All
out
day.
Tone, DJ R, man. That was the first episode we had shot it, and he had told me we were actually gonna go on there and do a bar breakdown of the two-tone freestyle that I did for him, which is what I performed at the beginning of the of his podcast.
Yeah.
We were just gonna break down those bars, but when you sit with people and you genuinely conversate, like Tone is my man's, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that's my guy for real. DJ I, that's really sis, you know what I'm talking about? So when we get to sit down and talk, and that the conversation opens up to so much more. We didn't even talk about the bars, you know what I'm talking about? We didn't even touch the song. So that's why he even changed the name of the podcast. Like, it was supposed to be the Bar Audit, you know what I mean? But then it changed to Nothing About Nothing, because we literally could have just sat there and talked for hours and hours, just, you know what I mean? It was a dope interview, man. They really
Y'all was
excellent.
potting. It wasn't
Yeah.
really like a traditional interview. Like,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah,
was just
yeah.
having a dope conversation for the city. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get over there and talk to Tone,
Yeah,
see what
man.
he's doing.
Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna have to
He
be
the
like,
guy.
yo, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, man. It was just a dope, like you said, the best interviews to me be genuine conversations. You know what I'm talking about? Like, when I don't feel like I'm just being asked the standard cookie cutter questions, we could just chop it up, because I'm an open book. You know, I'm an open guy. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not one of these reserved or non-media trained type of cats, or think I'm too tough to talk and nothing. Like, when you really live life and been through things, like, you don't mind sitting back and having a friendly conversation. You know what I'm talking about? So if the person I'm interviewing with has the ability to open up and just have a conversation with me, man, you can find out all type of jewels.
Hell yeah. I mean, you was dropping a lot of jewels. I seen all the comments. Everybody was going crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That's dope, man. So, real quick, just for the people who don't know, that are, tuned in or that will see this, who is Big Doobie? You know what I'm saying? Like, just real quick, like, where you're from, and then, like, when you came to AZ, and then we can really dive into, like, the shit, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Big Doobie is an independent artist. You know what I'm talking about? I'm signed to me. I'm out here grinding.
Hell yeah.
I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, but I've been in Arizona back and forth since the year 2000. You know what I mean? So I've literally about spent half my life here and half my life there. So I don't look at it no differently. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an Arizona nigga just like I'm a Detroit nigga. It's not no different. Like, I got as many Arizona tattoos as I got Detroit tattoos.
Hell yeah.
Like, it's that's why I named my first project From the D to AZ, because that's who I am and what I embody, 100%. Like, Detroit people might think I'm you know what I mean? Like, they know I'm representing Detroit. I'm a Detroiter, and just like Arizona people know, like, I am Arizona. I'm from Arizona. I rep Arizona too. So, I'm the best of, both worlds in my mind. One of the dopest lyricists that you'll ever get the pleasure to hear. You know, talking about all of the above. That's what I am.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up, in Detroit?
Man, actually it's definitely a lot better than what it is now. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I grew up in Detroit in the 90s, so, I grew up in the Coleman Young era. Like, Coleman Young was our mayor, so it was like, if you go to Atlanta now, it reminds me of Detroit in the 90s, just because of, like, the black love, the thriving black community. That's what Detroit was for me in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, everybody looked out for each other. Neighborhoods was flourishing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, everybody knew everybody. If you was from that neighborhood, everybody knew who you and your people was, and you know what I mean? Everybody looked out for everybody. Like, yeah, shit was still going on and it was still crazy, but as a kid, we was sheltered and protected from, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have to be involved in street shit if you didn't want to. You could be a kid. You know what I mean? So I thoroughly enjoyed my childhood. Like, no, we wasn't rich and no shit like that, but we sure as hell had a lot of fun. You know what I'm talking about? So, shout out Detroit, shout out 7 Mile. I'm a real 7 Mile baby. You know what I'm talking about? Like, real Detroit, not these niggas who be claiming these cities outside of the city, talking about they from Detroit. Like, no, I'm real West Side Detroit, and it was awesome. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I enjoyed it. I have, you know, way more fond childhood memories than not. You know what I'm talking about? So that was me. You know. Fire hydrant, you know, playing in the fire hydrants and doing flips on mattresses and playing tag and all that in the hood, riding bikes all around. Like,
Yo, so people really playing fire hydrants? 'Cause I've only seen that shit in movies, and I'm like, yo, I would love to see this in real life. Yeah.
let me tell you, okay, if you got somebody in this neighborhood got a monkey wrench.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
the
talking
big
about? That's all it takes. That's all it takes to get that fire hydrant popping is a monkey wrench and a tire. You get yourself an old tire because, you know, that water gonna come straight out, but you put that tire on it, you can make a whole waterfall out here. You know what I'm talking about? So, yes, we spend many a summer days getting drenched by fire hydrants. You know what
Yo,
I'm
how
talking
long does it last before somebody like from the city comes in?
It just depends on what hood you in.
Bad.
It depends on what neighborhood you in.
I
You
think
know
I
what
would
I'm
have tried
saying?
it.
Yeah, bro. Like some neighborhoods, they gonna be on your ass ASAP.
For sure,
but
yeah.
some neighborhoods, you just better hope it ain't no fire around here tonight, because that water is gone. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Ain't got no pressure.
hey, you know, we use that. But
Yeah, I've heard a lot of obviously gutter shit about Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody hears about certain places, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming 7 Mile being right next to like 8 Mile, like Eminem shit, right? Like when you hear it so famously, or no?
Absolutely not. That's not. So, so the difference from 7 Mile to 8 Mile would be like and as far as distance, we'll say that's like Thomas to McDowell. You know what I mean? For Phoenix, like it's like a mile.
Gotcha.
It's a literal mile. So, you know, to get from 7 to 8 or from 7 to 6 Mile, you know, Plymouth, Joy Road, all these off the freeway, like these are freeway exits. So Thomas, McDowell, you know, Indian School, whatever. Just it's the same thing. So 8 Mile is the end of Detroit though. So once you get to 8 Mile, on this side of 8 Mile, you still in the city, but as soon as you cross the street, you in Oak Park or Southfield or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? So
it's right at the end.
That's really what that movie represented, was like, this is the end of Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, that's where Detroit ends at. Anything cross 8 Mile, you not from the city. So that's why they kept making references to take that shit back across 8 Mile in a movie and shit like that, because you out the city once you cross over 8 Mile. But that's the closest shit to the city, yeah, but you ain't in the city no more.
Damn, so then that was his story. Then he was like right on the other side.
Well, you know, I don't, you know, he still was in the city too. Like, him was in the city too. Like, I'm sure there was parts of his life where he was outside of the city. Like, I ain't never seen no trailer parks in the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So, I don't know what part of it, but I ain't never seen no white kids in the hood. So, but they there, you know what I mean? Like, they there, but they over there. I think them niggas from the east side or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a west side nigga, so we don't really have too many. Like, growing up, we didn't have no business on the east, so we don't really know nothing about really went on over there like that. But, you know, he was tied in with real city niggas. Like, he wasn't like somebody from the outskirts that's just claiming the city. Like, no, he is. I'm talking like he in the past tense. M is tied in with real niggas in the city. You know what I'm talking about? Like, his Detroit card is good. Like, a lot of the young generation might not listen to his music or whatnot like that, but please trust and believe that nigga can slither through the city with ease, because he tied in with the right niggas, because he really from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, 100%.
That's dope, man. That's that young history.
Yeah, man.
Listening, well, just like general knowledge, and then also listening to the interview, like the promoter days, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to bring that up because I feel like we've probably been in some of the same places.
Oh yeah, I know. I seen you, like, when I saw you, I'm like, oh yeah, I know, dog. Like, I done seen you, you know, Club PHX or something, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I know.
like, because I used to, like, when I was 18, 19, back in like 09, like I was promoting with like Corey Wallace. Miss Dangerous was like super homie to me, and then like
Miss Dangerous.
I was DJing for like Davion and Team GQ.
Davion is my man's too.
In Phoenix and in Flagstaff, because I was going in there. So I was DJing for them in like different cities and shit, coming down to party.
Yeah.
And I remember like Doobie Boys and like the OTS and all that stuff being on flyers here and there, like Stoudemire's. Like I try to think back,
We was Club
that was like a whole
PHX.
era. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
man, a
saying?
real era. Like that was you right. You know what I mean? That was a real era of the party scene out here was way more lit than what it is now. You know what I mean?
I'm glad I was able to like live through that, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like how I came up as a club rat and
Yeah,
shit
man.
with those people and like those events and shit.
And it's dope to even see.
There's 3 white motherfuckers in there. I'm
bro.
one of them.
hey, I'm telling you, I know exactly, man. Like, you right though. That was an era from like 2008, 7, 8. You know what I mean? Like that. I came home from jail in '08. And that's when Doobie Boys first started. The same year Obama came into office. Like, so but us, the 100 Hustles, like you was mentioning.
Damn, I remember like I think the first club I went to after I turned 18 was like a Sunday night at Sugar Daddy's or something.
Oh yeah.
And then immediately started going to Jilly's like the week after, and that was like I had a good run there.
Shout out to Jilly's, man. Yeah, man. Like Mabel Murphy's, the Jackrabbit, which is now like Paris or something like that. Like all these clubs is just the same old clubs, just with new names.
Changed
like,
so much.
Yeah, Monarch is Club PHX. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we know these clubs from being other things. You know what I mean? Access Radius is I forget what that is.
It changed a couple times now.
Yeah,
it went to Livewire. Now it's like a bowling.
Yeah, now it's Casamigos and
that whole place changes every couple of years.
Yeah.
Same people own it, but they're like, yo, let's update this,
spice it up. Yeah, we was just in there with Wiz Khalifa a couple weeks back. Shout out Checking Traps, man. He linked us up with Liz.
Oh hell
Liz,
yeah,
man. We got to go.
How was that?
It was so dope, man. Like. We smoking and drinking like.
Damn, so you smoking with Wiz?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. What's that like? Is it a little different than smoking with people, or is it kind of regular, just a lot?
No, it's just as regular.
Yeah, I figured.
Like I can't, me as an artist, like even if it's big artists, it's only a couple of people out here in the world that I believe that I might be starstruck when I see them. You know what I mean? Like. But other than that, like you said, from the club promoting days, we've been kicking it with celebrities and shit behind the scenes since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and you realize either how regular or square they are.
Yeah, yep. And a lot of them do be dorks and just got money, but some of them be like surprisingly cool. You wouldn't imagine. You know what I mean? Like I personally never had nobody try to like big dog me and no shit like that. Like. James Harden was acting a little weird when I seen him that same night, but it was more along the lines of his people that he with.
Where was that at Red Revolver?
No, that same night when we left Casamigos, we all went to like a little hookah bar with Wiz and his.
Oh, so like recently then?
Yeah, this was a couple weeks back.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, and then James Harden just was happening to be in a hookah bar with his people. Like, oh shit, this must be some super exclusive Scottsdale after hours type shit. You know, it was like right by the W, and we was in there chilling.
Oh yeah, I think I've been in a spot over there.
Yeah, Wiz ordered everybody up 100 chicken wings and fries and shit. We was in there just having a good time, man. And I was a little wasted, so that could have played into it too. But I was like going to the bathroom, like, holy shit, this nigga James Harden just in a cut. But his people was kind of like don't want niggas to look at him type shit. I was like, I'll slap you. All right, let me chill out, bro. Like, who you think you is?
I can't look at a motherfucker now.
Yeah, bro. Like, nigga,
let me see the beard, bro. Let me see the beard.
Ask James, he'll remember Deli every day. He used to give him buckets at ASU. Straight up.
Yo, shout out Deli, man.
Yeah, shout out my guy Deli, man. He was with us that night, activated.
Oh hell yeah, that sounds like a dope night.
Yeah, man. We had a fucking ball, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you never know. People just be in Scottsdale, yo, because, like, people sleep on AZ a lot, you know what I mean? And Scottsdale and Tempe, at one point in time, probably still, were 2 out of the top 5 nightlife cities in the world. Which is wild. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it.
So, Scottsdale has always had this thing, and people just be here. Like, in AZ, like, it's just a stop. You know, comedians are constantly here. You got artists constantly here, movie stars constantly here, just chilling, athletes, like...
Yeah.
It's wild just to be in Scottsdale and run into somebody and be like, yo, I slapped the shit out of James. Everybody wants one of those stories.
Like, yo, guess what happened?
Yo, like, since I was like 15 or 16, I was like, yo, if I ever, because like we started to go to the club, especially right after that, I was DJing. I was like, yo, if I'm ever at the club with Soulja Boy, I'm gonna be the DJ that got famous for slapping the shit out of him.
Yeah, you go.
Like, everybody has those people where it's like, yo, if I ever see him in life,
dog,
I want to be on TMZ.
It's crazy. Like when I was younger, it was certain people who I wanted to slap the shit out of, celebrities, but it was more based off like roles they played in movies and shit. Like I was like, when I catch this nigga Lawrence Fishburne for Ike Turner, I'm beating this nigga ass. So I'm gonna whoop this nigga ass when I see him. He was fucking anime up. You know what I'm talking about? Like I ain't with that. So I had a grudge against Ike Turner Lawrence Fishburne until The Matrix. You know what I'm talking about? Like I had to wait for The Matrix to come out to shake that little animosity I had towards dog.
That's funny, yo. I'm trying to think if I want to give anybody hands for a movie role. I don't know. Like,
He was one for me.
I've been mad at some motherfuckers. Like, anybody who's ever raped anybody on camera can catch these hands.
Yeah,
like,
bro. That's what I'm saying.
I can't think of any actors, but anytime you see one of those scenes, you're like, yo, I'll call up that guy's ass. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Because I kind of fuck with Thanos. Like, I don't know who I would want to give hands to. You know what I'm saying?
It was Lawrence for me, man. Until The Matrix came out, I was just like, this nigga is cold. Like, first you get trying to kick knowledge to niggas and boys in the hood. Then you turn around and get in the movie with Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it, and whooping her ass. It's like, when I see this nigga, so I'm giving him the beats. Then I got older.
That's so funny, yo.
I'm like, man, I can't beat this nigga up. He was acting, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it now. One, because like Soulja Boy's a little dude and he's like has too many gang affiliations. Like, it wouldn't be worth all the problems. But back in high school, it was just it was like easy. You know, it was an easy pick. But these days, you know, like. I don't know, like I don't want to like bring any negativity or violence into the room, you know what I'm saying, on purpose, you know what I'm saying. But if I was in the club like DJing at like a true, and let's just say there was like a rapper there, and he just had to say something crazy, then like yo, getting on TMZ and getting 1 million followers for slapping some rapper in the club, like yo.
But they be treading lightly, man. These celebrities.
No, I know. I met a lot of people too the same way, and it's just like. Very few times have I seen anybody that I was like, oh, like I don't want to talk shit to them. Or like, I mean, a lot of times people have overzealous security, like you were saying. Yeah,
bro.
Like
that's what it really be. Yeah.
My hand got smacked off of Ludacris's shoulder once by a security guard. And I just had to play it cool. I was like, I don't want to. But I think I was at International. I was like in the VIP next to the DJ booth, and he was just walking by, and I just like was like, yo, what's up? And I just like obviously, which is a dumb move, but I like touched his shoulder, and the security was like. Bow, like smacked my hand. They just kept it pushing. I was like, "Damn, now I'm that guy." Like, damn. Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
But I heard you was talking your shit on the show with Tone too about a lot of these rappers or artists who really shouldn't be rappers or artists. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking about this a couple times, like recently, about how I feel like technology has just made it too easy. And it's semi-eliminated the whole songwriter category because now anybody could be an artist. Like back in the day, you would have a hit record with 30, 40 writers on it, like a Michael Jackson, Madonna type song. Yeah. And then, and so like people used to just want to write songs but not necessarily get on stage and perform them or whatever.
That's a fact.
And then now because of technology and Instagram and just how cool it is just to do it, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot more artists and there's a lot more access to it. So I feel like a lot of these either people who might just want to be cool or like people who might be a songwriter at heart but now they can just do it themselves. Because then you got people that like become famous and they can't perform on because they got like anxieties. It's like you should have been a songwriter. You should still get your bread, but you might be a songwriter if you can't do the stage stuff. So it's just like I was just adding stuff up, and I was just like, yeah, I think there just might be too many art, or like some people just might be out of their lane because of technology or something. I'm not dissing anybody, but I was hearing you say that, and obviously you can diss people for certain reasons, like because there's other reasons that might not be as like I feel like that was kind of a natural evolution that might have happened nonchalantly, but obviously people will just fake it too. Yeah. But like a lot of like SZA, Ari Lennox type of like artists or like whoever, like Kalani's that just have breakdowns and like don't want to do meet and greets, and it's like, yo, I understand what it's like to not want to fuck with people, but if you're an artist, you have to perform.
Yeah,
So it's like maybe you just should be a songwriter or something.
yeah, and you notice you just named like all female artists.
Well, yeah, those are the only examples I could think of.
But that's usually, you know, like
in headlines.
Yeah, there's some introverted male artists as well too, but like you said, like everybody not really built for everything that come along with it, but they
The fame is wild. Having
Yeah.
to perform is wild.
Yeah,
It's
man.
physical. You know what I'm saying? You got to
Yep.
take care of yourself.
and it's just like you sacrifice a lot to live that life. People don't really understand. Like I'm learning that as I'm learning the business more. Really, the types of sacrifices. Even with me, you know, getting booked for shows out of town and shit like that. Like being away from your family, having to live on the road, all this type of shit. Like that shit is not easy. You know what I mean? Like people. You can make it look easy, but that shit will wear on you after so much time of doing this same shit over and over and over. Like, yeah, you saving, you getting money and you stacking cheese if that's what your goal is, and you can stay focused on that goal. But for people who, you know, get the money and then that's not enough, you know, that they don't get fulfilled from that type of shit. So that shit can break you down, man. I done seen, like you said, you named some big names, you know, Summer Walker, things like that. Like these they, you know, it's a lot to always be in the spotlight for people who not used to that type of shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like even me, like that was part of the reluctancy of me even getting into music is always being on Front Street. You know what I'm talking about? Like having all my business out or whatever. Somebody always checking to see what I'm on, wanting to know. I always got to post and be on social media. Like all of that shit was not. That's just not how I got down. You know what I mean? So, you know, I understand it though. You know what I mean? Like I understand everybody is not cut from the same cloth. But if you're gonna make the decision to do this shit and you dope and your goal is to take off like that, you have to know what the fuck comes along with that shit. It's not just money and music videos. Like you got to be outside, you got to be around people. There's gonna be pandemonium. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is.
What was it like making the switch from like doing street shit to doing like industry shit? Because like you said, you can't do both, and like you can't leave crumbs either. You kind of gotta have a fucking transition period where you're good and you can start showing your face, like you said, like just online and just talking shit, and you don't gotta worry about like some shit you just did or something like that. Like, cause I know people in obviously both worlds, and you couldn't like.
It's hard to wiggle. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and then I know people in like the street world that also move like dummies. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people that move like dummies and that draw attention to themselves that ain't even trying to be famous. And it's like, yo, man, like you need an OG out here or something.
Yeah, niggas don't last long. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna last long living like that. Like the transition was, you know, it took a long time. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? Like I had many opportunities to start doing music years ago. You know what I mean? Like I literally should have probably been doing music since I was in high school. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
But you was just doing other shit, whatever
yeah,
it may
it wasn't
be.
in
Like,
the cards. Like, you know, and with the technology now, it does allow for it to be a lot easier. You know what I mean? As opposed to back then, but the level of dedication that it would have taken in order for me to do this back then, I didn't have it in me to dedicate that to music. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it wasn't a top priority like it is now. So, you know, when it was time for me to make the transition, it wasn't hard because it was time. You know what I mean? It was like I said, nigga, we finna buy a Chick-fil-A or we finna start doing this music. You know what I'm talking about? So,
yo, Chick-fil-A is flying.
yeah, man, it would have been a nice little chunk of change.
Yo, I mean, after you get a big bag from like a show or something, you can still cop a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Please open
yeah.
on Sunday, bro.
Like, I'm gonna be the
That's
first
what you
one.
can do. You can open on Sunday. You can be
Unless it's
pioneer.
in the contract for me to own that franchise, like
It
no
probably is.
Sundays, my guy.
Yeah, it's like the logo. We want it blue. We want to open on Sundays. Nah, that's dope, man. So what's the plan? Like, I appreciate your goal on wanting to be the richest rapper in AZ, because for a long time I just wanted to be popular and famous, which reputation to some extent is important. Your network is your net worth, etc. But then I realized I don't want anybody to fucking know what I'm doing or where I'm at, and I wanted just the bag. And I realized that, you know, you got rich and you got fame, and I was like, oh, I want rich.
Yeah.
I don't want fame. And you have to, not saying that I got famous and realized it, but you grow up and you see things and you realize, oh, you don't want to be fucking famous, really. Like
not famous and not rich. That ain't gonna.
No, for sure, you definitely don't. That's the wrong combination, yo. Famous and not rich. Yeah, but definitely being rich and not famous, that's cool.
Yeah.
But rich and famous, like especially if you're trying to be famous, that it matters. But like, and I guess for like a DJ to a certain extent it matters too. But I just like, and I'm about to like go on a big run, so I'm gonna have to deal with people all over my shit, which is cool. But you know, it's the price we pay. But at the same, now I'm worried about the bag. As before, I wasn't as worried about the bag. So now, even with the bullshit, I can still catch the bag. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it's about for me. Like getting that bag right. Like, you know, the music comes naturally. Like, you know, being a dope artist is what I was more born to do. That's what God made me to do, was to be dope at this. So it's more about me learning the business. You know what I mean? That's what I've been doing, learning the business, making sure I got all my ducks lined up. So I don't want to be one of these rappers that's out here looking rich but really poor. You know, talking about they signed all these terrible ass deals. Oh, nigga gave me, like, I just watching Fabio talking about he got a $5,000 advance from Mace. Like, boy, is you crazy? You know what I'm talking about? Like, five bands. See, and that's the one thing, like, what people don't really understand too. Like, even being here in Arizona, like, we're a lot more spoiled than people would think. You know what I mean? Like, there's a ton of artists out here who wouldn't imagine signing for $5,000 no matter who. Like, what are you talking about, a $5,000 advance, when, you know, I spend more money than that on Jordans in a 4 or 5 month span? Like, what? Like, what? $5,000? Like, what are you talking about? We can eat that up. Like, we'll eat that literal in DoorDash in like 2 months. So what the hell? Yeah, it's not a lot of money. So, but in certain people, for certain situations, that's the bag. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's, some people have never had $5,000 at one time in their possession. You know what I mean? That's a fact. There are adults who have never had $5,000 on them at one time, or 10,000 or 15.
A lot of people live like week to week or check to check, and they never got like a refund check from a college or a fucking big payday or like something like
anything.
That.
You know what I mean? There's so many different ways to get a bag. Like,
yes,
and that's what I mean. Like, I just was not one of them niggas who wanted to. You know, I'm growing up in Detroit. My uncles is hustlers. My cousins is hustlers. Like, I'm seeing money. No, I'm not having money, but I'm able to see it and know, oh, that's what I want. I want to have money. So there was no way, you know, I wasn't finna be touching bands when I was able to really jump off the porch for myself. Like, there was not no way, you know what I mean? And that's, I've been destined to touch bands and been touching bands since I was a pup, since I jumped off the porch. So I can't be finessed into no crazy deal. Like, I'll stay independent forever before I sign my life away to be famous and look rich. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
for sure. I think that's what 360 deals have been doing to people for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Definitely don't want to do that.
Won't be me, my G.
I mean, that's just the most famous, but I'm sure there's lots of bad deals you can sign. You know what I'm saying? But no, my new goal is to be the motherfucking richest DJ in
There
AZ,
we
you
go.
know what
That's
I'm
what I'm talking about, man. Let's get it. Let's get it, man.
I mean, I got plans and shit that involve bringing in cash. You know, that don't even have to do with necessarily spinning records. That even still have to do with the industry. But what you do with the bread when you start getting it too will just be like wild out here. Like, you know, you could have 3 Chick-fil-A's and that counts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. That's a fact, bro. And that's the plan. Like, owning shit. You know what I mean? Like, real estate, equity. You know what I mean?
Big
all
bet.
the shit that, Nip was teaching us through his music. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't saying that shit for nothing. He was saying that shit because that's the real move. You know what I mean? So, you know, I have conversations with my team all the time, me and my guys. Like, I'm the only rapper, but that don't mean that I'm gonna be the only one rich. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we're gonna be buying blocks. You know what I mean? Buying neighborhoods, buying blocks,
Hell yeah.
opening businesses, doing all. You know, we're gonna be taking shit over in whole other ways to where it's multiple streams of income coming in for everybody. Everybody eats. Everybody lives different lives. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Hell yeah.
that's the real goal. You know what I'm talking about? Put your people on, like my nigga Eastside Ed Crow say, put your motherfucking people on. That's all. That's the whole point of this. And so me and everybody around me can live a different life. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and that's my motivation. You know what I'm talking about? I want to see my niggas rich, and like my niggas want to see me rich. You know what I'm talking about? So I want to see my niggas taking care of their families and the same way they want to see me taking care of mine. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's it. That's why it's easy when I got people behind me that really believe in what I do and know. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we come together and we can form Voltron around this bitch. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Hey.
some type of town we on.
Yo, that's what you gotta do. I see a lot of camps in the city rising up, like we're doing our thing here, and I got some friends. Shout out my boy Neuro Balls. They got some crazy shit going on. Tone's doing crazy shit. Like, I just see and a lot of artists in the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a lot of shit bubbling. A lot of people are hitting that next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's a shift, man. And that's what I was even saying. Like, no, I don't feel like I done blew up or no shit like that, but I definitely feel like there's been a shift. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the whole Arizona hip hop scene. Like, there's a shift. Everybody is kicking it. Everybody who's supposed to is kicking it into a whole nother gear. You know what I'm talking about? Preparing ourselves for a whole nother level of success. And it's niggas who's being left behind and falling off by the wayside and all that, which is to be expected. You know what I mean? Like,
It's always gonna happen that way.
Yeah, everybody not
Because the energy is shifting, so anybody with the wrong energy is about to get sifted. Hey, that's a bar.
There we go. There we go.
Yo, I apologize to the audience if anybody hears all that bullshit going on outside. Apparently, we scheduled landscaping for the same time as Big Doobie and you. Goddamn. Shit is wild. But, yo, man, let me see what's going on these notes. I mean, shit, we really talked about everything that I had because I didn't have nothing crazy because I figured we would just be chopping up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But what else is popping? Like, what's next, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, we about to drop some new music. I got, you know, we're going to probably drop a new single every month for the rest of the year. So I got you know, some bullets loaded up in the clip that's ready to go. I got a new song I did with Check and Trap. Shout out my guy, Check and Trap. He just produced me some new crazy shit.
Hell yeah.
I'm really excited about that. We're going to be dropping that one probably next month.
Yo, man, send it over.
Yeah, man, I got you, man. I got some new shit produced by No Designer, some new shit produced by DJ Pest. So we just working, man, just grinding. I got a show with the Odd Squad next month. Shout out Rome. They booked me to come perform with the Odd Squad at Silverado, and then
yo, man, their following is crazy, yo.
Yeah, man. And then the Thizzler's coming out here too at the end of September. I'm gonna do that show. So, you know, we just working, man, and then
just can't stop moving.
Can't stop, bro. Can't stop.
That's dope, man. I'm excited to see everything that's popping off, you know what I'm saying? Especially since you were like, yo, let's turn it up, let's turn it on, you know what I'm saying? And you knew it wasn't gonna take long for you, you know what I'm saying? So, like, obviously this is that point where it's like, all right, everybody's paying attention. You finna put in that work and then just hit that next level and then just pass a lot of motherfuckers and piss them off, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you're supposed to do.
hey, don't get mad, get right. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I ain't no selfish nigga. No, I ain't never on weirdo time. Like, I don't do this just for me to be able, like, if I got information or shit that I can help the next motherfucker with that's serious about their craft, I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna give them that info. Like, do this, holler at this one, you know what I mean? I'm gonna point you in the right direction, you know, set the table, but I can't make you niggas eat, you know what I'm talking about? So I learned this just from asking questions, You know what I mean? And getting around people, being places that where it's happening at. You know what I mean? Like nobody is teaching me this shit. Nobody is setting shit up or doing none of that shit. Like I work with DJ Pest. Shout out my DJ. He, we put shit together and execute moves and plays and shit. But everything that I do, I'm learning as I go. You know what I mean? I learn the business. I read books about this shit, watch the fucking videos and pay attention to shit, and I apply it to my own motherfucking hustle. Take the jewels and apply them as necessary, and that's how I've been able to level up. You know what I mean? Every year that I've been doing this shit since 2019 is a level up for me. So that's all it's about, man. Leveling up every year.
Hell yeah. Artists, there's like a few ways. Well, fucking music sales, record sales have been dead for a while now since streaming and shit. But the Tech 9 model, artists making music off of touring and merch, you know what I'm saying? Those are the two things. Even as a DJ, it's like I got performing, I got merch, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. And then really in whatever you do, that's what you got right there. So do you have like merch? Do you have big plans for merch? Because like obviously like touring, you get the bag, merch, you get the bag.
Absolutely. So I've actually been offered like 3 tours this year. And I think we narrowing it down to the one I'm going to do in November. It's like a 27-city tour or something like that.
Hey, hell yeah.
So, yeah, we going to go on tour. But, like, I got Big Duty merch now. But me and Pest, we are working on a new merch pack with some super dope. I got a new logo that we finna put on some new merch, some new designs for some new shit, all different types of merch. Shout out to Joseph Bills, man. Like he really the godfather of the merch. He the one that really gave me the game in regards to how to get the merch together, the different types of merch. Like you go do a show with Joseph Bills, he gonna have a whole pop-up shop ready to go. You know what I'm talking about? So he showed me like this how you move if you want to eat off of these shows more than just reporting it to BMI, getting that little bit of show money like that. Like you want to eat, have that merch ready. So earlier this year we had a show in New Mexico and I had my merch together. You know what I mean? Like I was over there slanging merch and signing autographs and all that, but Joseph Bills the one that showed me how to put that together. So
hell yeah, shout out Bills.
Shout out Bills, man. It's my guy.
Yeah, I just put Bills on something new too. So after the show, I was planning on letting you know the newest, dopest, fucking easiest way for merch, my friend. And I haven't really said it on the show. I've just been telling all the artists I fuck with off the scene, you know what I'm saying, trying to pay it forward since I figured out. But I've had 2 clothing lines. I participated in Phoenix Fashion for a Cause, which I'm sure you've known and been to. Shout out Antoinette, you know what I'm saying? So I've been in the scene. I've done clothes. I've had merch for myself. I owned a print company, and I printed merch for other people like Cartel and all these other guys. So like I have a lot of experience in merch. And then I was like, fuck all of that. And I found the gym, and I've been passing that shit around to the people I fuck with in the city. So if you don't know about it yet, I'll let you know after the show. You know what I'm saying? Bills didn't ruin my secret. I'm just
bless me.
Nah, but I would love to help you because, like I said, like you have performing. You know what I'm saying? You have your touring. You know what I'm saying? Your craft. What you eat off of, like what you do, and then just the merch that goes along with that. And other than that, like obviously you can invest and buy things and like use the money smartly, but those are the 2 ways as an artist, to make artist money specifically, because sales are shit. You know what I'm saying? Like streams, like you might get a streaming check, in the hundreds of thousands or maybe the millions of plays. I just hear even the heavyweights talk shit about streaming money, so I just always assume it's not that great.
No, it's not. It's not like. So I would just to give an example, like you have to get. I think like what is it? Every one stream is not. It's not even worth a penny. It's like a 0.3 of a.
Yeah,
penny.
It's like 0.00 something.
Yeah,
it's like wow.
So I got like close to 40,000 total streams, maybe $150. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so there you kind of see how they work it with yeah, and that's the same way it works for content creators on like YouTube money and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same kind of percentage.
Yeah, you got to be getting millions.
You know, to get the bag off of that. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what happens next for you. I see the, you know, I like you know, like we talked about the energy shifting. You can kind of see it, and especially like when people do like a press run and they got multiple shows they're on and they're putting shit out and the freestyles and participating in local shit. Like, it's exciting, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially to see somebody that's actually out here spitting, because there's a lot of people that are getting attention too. That you know. I don't ever want to take anybody's shit away, but I'm just glad somebody's getting attention that you know is killing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, everybody can't be dope. You know? Everybody can't be dope.
All right, so at the end of the show, usually we go with like the fan favorite question around here, and I asked everybody this. So when it's your time, you know what I'm saying? When you have to die, if you have to die by animal, which animal would you want to take you out?
Ooh.
It's a thinker.
Okay.
Because there's some real monsters out here in the wild. You know, people got all kinds of crazy answers. Some want to go quick, some want to not go quick, which is weird.
Yeah, if I gotta go by animal, let me think. Because I don't really want to be. I don't want to be dealing around with no big cats and no bears. Like, if it take too long, I got to go quick, too. I say something like, let an elephant step on my head. Let me get on up out of here right away. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't got
the
time.
Quick one,
yeah,
the head step.
Smash me. You know what I'm talking about? Like, don't,
a mammoth, a big one. Let's make it exciting.
Yeah,
a huge-ass mammoth.
I don't want to be sitting around feeling the effects of being mangled by a tiger or something like that. Like,
oh, yeah, fuck a big cat.
That could take this nigga about 8 minutes to kill me off. You know what I'm talking about? That's 8 minutes of
They start
hell.
eating. They want you alive because they want that shit fresh, yo.
I'm still yelling. This nigga ate half my torso.
Yeah, you trying to text somebody and he
hell no. Smash my head, elephant man. You know what I'm talking about? Just give me a whole elephant, smash my shit off, or you know, I don't want to deal with nothing in the water neither. I don't got time for no sharks.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah. That'll hurt too, bro. Yeah, that'll be like you might get like bit in half and drowned. Like,
yeah, man. It's too much going on, man. I need to be quick. Let me just lay here, close my eyes, and smash. Now I'm here. Now I'm not.
I respect it. You gotta just get it over with. Let the elephant do it. Let them get some payback.
That's it.
Yo, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming through today. Like I said, we'll chop it off camera. I'll see what I can do for you, you know what I'm saying, to help you with this fucking lift off. Because like I said, I'm excited, man. I'm a fan. Whatever I got to do.
Appreciate you, family. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, let's lock in. I'm with it.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you. We out.